Hey, it's your boy, Sergeant, hooked on heroes, hitting you with another hashtag Power Month video. We're getting near the end in our series, the most badass moments in Power Rangers. If you've been following along since the beginning, I do truly thank you and appreciate you for doing so. It's been a really fun series so far, and I'm already thinking about ways I can kind of extrapolate on it, kind of continue it next year for Power Month. But it's been pretty fun, honestly, even with the looming threat of the possibility of the end of the Power Rangers. I'm still having a lot of fun with this, and I'm always going to have a special place in my heart for Power Rangers. So today is a very, very special season, one very near and dear and close to my heart, which is absolutely Power Rangers in space. I always like to lovingly talk about this season because I think a lot of people that are outside of the fandom or even in the fandom that are just like MMPR purists really don't think about how cool it was that we had this revolving cast leading all the way up to In Space. So if you don't know, they call from Mighty Morphin Season 1 to In Space and kind of sort of Lost Galaxies loosely attached to the Zordon era, which is what it says, the Zordon era. After that, we have the post-Zordon era leading into then the Hasbro and, Disney era and stuff like that. So, In Space was the culmination of all these stories. I mean, we had the team from Turbo, the second, roster of Turbo Rangers, most of them becoming the new In Space Ranger team. They're on a quest, of course, to find Zordon. Andros, the new Red In Space Ranger, their new leader, is helping them along with his friend Zane, who was released from, cryosleep. And that's what they're trying to do the whole season, is trying to find him, while also dealing with the likes of Astronema, Divatox here and there, and also the members of the Alliance of Evil, which is like a conglomerate of all the villains so far that survived, all fighting together, basically, all united as one equal front. So my number one moment, and it's going to be kind of, I guess kind of you saw it coming, but it's more than just what you might think. It's actually the entirety of Countdown to Destruction Part 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure it was a two-parter. I can remember being a kid and watching In Space for the first time, cutting hot off the heels of Turbo, and seeing the entire base get destroyed. They're without their powers. They get into space, leave Justin behind. Fuck off. Oh no, goodbye, Justin. I'm so sad. Getting them to be the In Space Rangers and more for the first time was just a landmark. We'd never seen anything like it. And at the time, it was thought to be one of the last seasons. If you don't know, in Japan, Car Ranger, Car Ranger was the Sentai that they used footage-wise to base off of for Turbo, for Power Rangers Turbo. I don't love Turbo, and when we get to Turbo, there's parts of it I will talk about that I do like, because there's parts of it I do, basically when the second roster takes over. But hear me out. So in Japan, the Sentai Car Ranger was responsible for single-handedly kind of saving Sentai at the time. The ratings were kind of low, and they were kind of looking for, some kind of way to re-energize things. So they made Car Ranger being very comedic and goofy and weird and kind of a shitpost of a season. It's a ridiculous season. It's a fun season. It's a good season, but it's a fucking ridiculous season. It was Zenkaiger before Zenkaiger in terms of the overall just oddity of it. So Turbo, in turn, when they adapted that for Power Rangers, its ratings were so abysmally low, it nearly killed the franchise. So when they did In Space it's kind of in this special group, just like RPM, where they kind of just let them do whatever the hell they wanted. Which to an extent was good, because they were able to do a lot with their storylines, kind of take their characters farther than they've ever been before, and really do some really unique things. Countdown to Destruction being one of those things. The entire season is culminating on this entire plot point near the end. Astronema has fully been taken over with her cybernetics by Ecliptor helped with it, and I think also what's his name? Dark Spectre, right? And so she's fully evil, no way of coming back, even though she was close to being redeemed. And they've captured Zordon. They have him captive on the dark ship or whatever. And so the Rangers are trying to get there to save Zordon. And so we have this whole thing where the Rangers are kind of getting their butts kicked throughout. There's an amazing moment where they're all demorphed except for Andros, who's up there fighting Astronema. And the what are left of the villains, Ecliptor and El Gore and some of the other people, are coming down and being asses to the humans, saying basically, you're done, you're destroyed, we're taking over, blah blah blah. And the citizens stand up. This is such a cool moment, and honestly, it stands out to me more than other parts of the episodes. But there's this really awesome moment where the civilians stand up and are like, you know what? No, we're not going to take that. And Bulk and Skull have their moment. Finally have their moment. The culmination of their storyline from MMPR to now, where they were first dicks to like the actual Rangers, not knowing they were the Rangers. Then idolized the Rangers, wanted to become a Ranger, became officers, as close as they could get, really, to being a Ranger, unless you follow the comics, and they have been sort of Rangers at that point. But to see them take this heroic role and being willing to put their life on the line to save the world was cool. They have this whole Spartacus moment. I am the Red Ranger. I'm the Blue Ranger. I'm the Yellow Ranger. And they actually help fight the Quantrons a little bit. And then the actual Rangers show up and morph in front of them, showing who they really are and revealing their identities and fighting the forces that are there on the ground. And it's really cool how Continent Destruction is put together, because you keep getting flashes across the galaxy of these different fights happening. You have Blue Centurion and Phantom Ranger fighting, getting their asses handed to them. You have the Aquitar, the Equation Rangers, getting their asses handed to them by members of the Alliance of Evil. All over the galaxy, we're not winning. Just straight up. So Andros, of course, goes to the Dark Ship. I would say this moment right here is probably my number one badass moment, and the follow-up or the, runner-up to that was the I'm the Red Ranger Spartacus Ranger moment with all the citizens of Bulk and Skull. Anyway, Andros gets up there and gets to Zordon. He defeats his sister, and begrudgingly so. He doesn't really want to. And Zordon tells him, he says to Andros, or Andros says to him, I'm here to save you, Zordon, let's go, I can get you out of here, blah, blah, blah. And Zordon says, no, we can't do it that way. He's like, what do you mean? We can get out, you're safe, my sister's taken care of, we're good, like, let's do this. And he says, no, there's no other way. You need to use your weapon, your Spiral Saber, to attack my tube, my energy tube, thereby releasing my energy. Yes, it will destroy me, but it will release my good energy as a wave across the universe to, wipe out the evil that is currently active right now. And Andros doesn't want to do it, and you can see the, hesitation in him, and you can hear it in his voice. And it's a pretty big moment. I remember being a kid being like, are they really going to do this? And he does it. He does his little special attack thing with the Spiral Saber, and he breaks Zordon's tube. It releases what we know now as the Z-Wave, and wipes out all the evil in the galaxy. Most of it's disintegrated. Lord Zed and Rita are turned human, which we know she eventually shows up in Mystic Force as Mystic Mother. And he wins the day. The Alliance of Evil is gone, and the Rangers win. And it's a pretty big moment, and such a culmination from what we know of Zordon before, that he was a space wizard at one point, got imprisoned in this energy tube, trying to, do what he could to, help people and stop Rita and whatever. And him being this mentor to being the one that has to be sacrificed for the greater good was absolutely jaw-dropping. And for it to be this level of, in-depth storytelling to this point, all these characters and things that have led up to this, was very impressive. I've never seen a show or series build up quite that way, unless you're talking about, maybe parts of Doctor Who, or some Marvel things, kinda sometimes. Definitely not Phase 4. But it's just one of my favorite moments, and I look fondly back on it all the time, because it's just such a absolute jaw-dropping, out-of-nowhere thing that they did with it that you couldn't have really picked up on or known was going to happen till the very end. That's what I love about it the most, is they don't, spoil it or anything. They don't talk about how that's even a possibility until Andros is literally just about to rescue Zordon, and then he tells him, no, that's not how we're going to do this. You need to, let me go, destroy my tube, let my energy out, and I'll do the rest. It's a pivotal moment. I remember being choked up watching it as a kid, and I've watched it recently, and it's almost got me choked up too. I'm kind of hoping rumors and things are not true about Cosmic Fury and bringing him back. That was kind of a plot point in Once and Always, that Billy wanted to resurrect him, and he found remnants of the Z-Wave or whatever. But it's a pretty cool moment. In Space is a fantastic season, especially taking a video game themed season from Mega Ranger and reorienting it to being about space. Absolutely a bonkers, but it worked in every way. That's my number one moment, number one badass moment. Clearly the runner-up or the honorable mention would be the citizens and Bulk and Skull specifically standing up to the Alliance of Evil and the Quantrons and stuff. But yeah, those are my favorite moments, my most badass moments within Power Rangers in Space. But what are your guys' badass moments? What do you guys think of Power Rangers in Space? Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Right in the middle? What did you think of Countdown to Destruction? It's a fantastic season and one that I definitely think that everybody should check out at least once, at some point in their life as a Ranger fan. I mean, all the seasons have something to offer, honestly, except for Operation Overdrive, in my opinion. But that's just me. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you got a lot out of it. Again, I do apologize for any spoilers and stuff, but hey, guess what? Sucks to be you, because you can just go to YouTube where it's free and watch all of it on the official Power Rangers channel, so don't be mad at me. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like it, share it, comment, watch it, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you can for more content just like this. I do content not just Power Rangers. I do all things Tokusatsu, so that means Kamen Rider. It means Super Sentai. It means Ultraman. It means lots of different things. I sometimes dabble into Digimon and Marvel and Star Wars as well. As far as content on the channel, going to be this and a few other of the baddest moments videos. I'm going to also try to get my Geats review for episode 40. We're in 48 now? Oh my god. And then I might do a catch-up thing review for King Oger, because some of the episodes have been pretty decent recently, especially the most recent episode. But I've kind of fallen out of love with it a little bit. I don't think it's a bad season, but I'm just not loving it the same way others are. So, as far as Henshins and Homies podcast, as of this recording, the next episode is going to be our 1-year anniversary of doing the show. We're 40 episodes in, which is absolutely ridiculous, but awesome at the same time. Really, really happy about it. We're going to have a good time. I will see if we'll have some guests on. I don't know for sure if we're going to plan to have any guests on, but we'll see. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we really thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for subscribing to that channel and to mine as well. I really appreciate it. But until next time, stay hooked on heroes. I'll talk to you later, and may the power protect you. Happy Power Month, everybody.